Hi everybody, welcome back to another video, and today is September the 11th of 2025, and I wasn't going to do this video, but I thought I might as well, and that's coming up right after this. Alright everybody, welcome back to Just Justin. I am Justin, and this is a no niche channel, so I'm not talking about anything in particular, but today I'm going to be talking about September 11th. Back in 2001, on this date, 9/11, there was a terrorist attack on the United States of America, where they flew planes into the Twin Towers in New York City, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and another plane went down in the fields of Pennsylvania. Now, that day brought the hatred for the American people to the American soil. Whereas one group of people doesn't like what another group of people live by and what they stand for. And there's no reason for that. There's no cause for that. Okay, violence against others because they believe different than you is not called for. Alright? That is not called for. Yeah, it's been 24 years since that attack. And I think that I don't know if it's going to get worse or not. But yeah, 9/11 was a different day. My mom called me up. I was running a little bit late for work. My mom called me up and she said, "Where are you at?" I said, I'm still home. She goes, "Turn on the TV." And I turned the TV on and yep, I saw the second plane hit the tower. Then we went into work. It was a somber day at work. I had a coworker who was working since like 3:30 in the morning. He had no clue what was going on. So I told him, "Let's go for a walk." And we walked over and we watched the TV, and he's like, "What the heck?" Because I don't think he would have believed me if I told him. And he was like, "What the heck is going on?" And I was like, terrorist attack in New York and in Washington, D.C. And, you know, it was a different day. I remember the office being quiet, and someone had a radio, and they put it up. They turned it up so we could hear the news and them talking about exactly what was going on. And, you know, it was just a different somber day. And then yesterday, on the 10th of September of 2025, Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. He was there speaking, and you know, there was a big crowd of people there. My son actually went to hear him talk, you know, because Charlie stands for principles that I think a lot of people stand for. And he's not very well liked by some groups of people because he says things that most people don't. He says things that people don't agree with. Okay, but that's the whole thing about the First Amendment here in the United States of America, is the freedom of speech. We can say what we want to say, and we can believe what we want because that's our freedom. And Charlie was exercising that freedom yesterday when he was gunned down, shot and killed yesterday in Orem, Utah, at the Utah Valley University, the university I went to, the courtyard where I went to and spent time at. And my son was there listening to him. Because, you have Charlie Kirk coming to a local university. What, you're going to go listen to him. All right? I would have, but I had other plans yesterday. So, but he was shot by a coward because the coward didn't agree with what Charlie Kirk was saying. He didn't believe what Charlie Kirk was talking about. He didn't agree with the First Amendment and Charlie Kirk's right to that First Amendment. And people call Charlie Kirk and the conservatives fascists and Nazis. they are the ones that are the fascists and the Nazis. Because they are trying to limit what people say. If you want to look at history, and what history will show you is exactly who was controlling speech, who killed their opponents because they didn't like what they were saying. Violence is uncalled for, no matter what. I could care less what you believe in. I could care less your opinion. Okay, I could care less if you have a different opinion than I do. Okay? That makes us unique. That makes us human. Because we all have our own choices to make. We all have our freedom of agency. We all have that opportunity to choose how we want to think. All right? You might not agree with what I believe in. You might not want to agree that I support the Second Amendment. I might lose followers over this. I might lose subscribers. And right now, I don't care. Nobody should be shot because of something they believe in. Nobody should die because they have a difference of an opinion. Now, they said that they found the guy, but the guy was let go because he did not shoot Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was shot from atop of a building there at Utah Valley University with a high-powered rifle, bolt action. They said they found the gun, and they said they're tracking down the individual who did it. So I'm just thinking, how in the hell did he get up on that roof? I mean, it's just like Butler, Pennsylvania all over again. But Butler, Pennsylvania was secured by Secret Service and local law enforcement. No one in their right mind would have thought that somebody would take a high-powered rifle and shoot another person because of difference of belief. And it's just hard to fathom. It's just hard to complicate, It's just hard to understand. So it's just hard to understand what people are going through to make them want to do this to another individual. You might not agree with me liking Charlie Kirk, okay? But he had the guts. He had the desire to stand up for what he believed in. The First Amendment, the Constitution, God. He has that right to do that. But it doesn't mean you can go out and shoot someone for that. Now, I just want everyone to just cool down because we are entering a different phase in our lives here in this world, on this earth, on this planet right now, where people who think differently hate the people who think otherwise. If you don't follow what they think and what they desire, they want to kill you. Now let that sink in. If you don't believe a certain way or think a certain way, they want to kill you because you're the problem. What kind of world are we living in? So that is just me rambling on right now about what happened yesterday and what happened 24 years ago. It's because people don't appreciate what you believe in. They want you to believe in what they believe in. Because they are the only ones that are right. And no, they're not right. Alright? So, yeah. That's just me talking right now. And sorry if you don't feel the same way. And if you celebrate someone's death, that is just wrong. Sick and wrong to celebrate someone else's death. You need some help if you do that. Alright? Talk to you guys later. Bye.